box ready to go. Enchanted winter, do do do, do 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 do. You too, you too. A1 vacuum and sewing. Logging on. Enchanted. Here we go. All right. Live chat. Oh my god, it looks like it's just me, and me. Hopefully you'll find me. I thought I was is this the right time? Yeah, noon. Okay. All right. Let's talk about what we're going to do as hopefully people show up. And maybe it'll just be like the olden days when it was just me. Anyhow, this is what you should have done. I was stitching at the store on Friday, and I left my Kimberbell snips there, which makes me very sad, but I'll get back to basics using my Havels. So, what you should have done right now. Okay, I just piled everything up here. This is section 1 and 2. Isn't it cute? It's so cute. It's so stinking cute. So here's this little strip over here is section 1, all the way down to the mittens. And then this double stack strip over here on the side, that is section 2. Everything's pressed, sewn together. Love it. And today we're going to work on section 3. So you should have this. The other thing that you're going to have is if you've been stitching along with us, you should have your inner borders. These are the inner borders and your outer borders all done. I love that because once I finish this, guess what? I'm slapping it all together and I just have to do my binding. Uh-oh. Where are my binding strips? I don't even know. Hopefully I have them so I can finish this tonight or tomorrow. So this is what you should have going on. There's 2 of us. Yay! All right. So let me go ahead and put this to the side. We're just going to stitch in order. I should be ready today. Last week I didn't have my my background designs loaded, but I put those up. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Hello, Miss Priscilla. Thank you for it's you and me today. Just 2 girls stitching together. And let me get my spreadsheet, my handy dandy spreadsheet. I got my hoop. We're going to be using the 5x7 hoop. You can use the one that came with the machine. Doesn't really matter, whatever you want to use. We're loosey-goosey around here, and I think we're doing Pine Tree 1 to start us out. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop up. I went, like, my room, if you saw my sewing room, you'd go, oh my God, it's such a disaster. But I went through my room, and I grabbed all the pieces of muslin that are everywhere, and some of the pieces of batting, because I have another bag filled with it, and I felt so much better just being like, okay, here it all is. I just don't know why I can't be more organized. It's my brain. My brain just likes chaos. So this is just a piece that I pulled from in there. Oh, look, it's perfect for this hooping. So actually, you know what? It's a 4x4, so I feel like I can't use it because I'm going to waste. But we can use this one and do 2 4x4 hoopings today. So go ahead and let's hoop up. Listen while you work. Da 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 da. All right. Hello, Miss Liz. Thanks for visiting. Oh, this is how you know which ones to put on. The long space are for the big ones. These are the small ones. So I need a biggie for the top. biggie for the top and the bottom, and it doesn't, you can save so much like stabilizer with this because it doesn't have to really go even all the way to the edge. Just barely on the edge. Thanks for visiting on Saturday, Miss Liz. Hopefully the boys enjoyed their movie. I just put my hand down here just to make it taut, not tight, but taut. Let's put these on. And let's get stitching. The other thing I thought I could do is I set up my PQ 1500 because I was like, you know what I'm going to do if there's like long sections of stitch out? I'm going to start piecing my back because what I like to do is this is all my leftovers from Wallflower. All those like little pieces, I'm going to sew them all together and that's going to be my back. So here are all my pieces that are left over from, this might be binding. I don't know what binding is. So this is all the leftovers, and it's nice to have leftovers because sometimes you make a mistake, but I can always go to the store and get stuff. You guys can't always go to the store, but I can just always go to the store. And then I put oopsies in here too, like this one, which wasn't really an oopsie, but this was before I switched to the pretty hollow shimmer thread. So I was like, oh, I'll just throw it in the back of my quilt. So I keep all like anything that's an oopsie, I keep, and I'll put it in the back of my quilt. So I was thinking if there's sections where it's like 10 minutes of stitching, I'm going to start piecing my back, and I'll show you how I do that. It's really like, I just put pieces together. It's nothing fancy. It doesn't look cute. There's no really cute squares in there. It just is what it is. So let me put these away. So I set that up on my other table. And we're going to be doing Pine 1. Let me get my book. So this week, because I would like to be almost close to done to finishing Wallflower, like I said, I was going to piece my back. So we are doing Pine Tree 1. Here's the handy dandy spreadsheet. This you can find on the website under sew-alongs. If there's a sew-along that I've done that you're not finding on the website, send me a note and then I'll put it up. But we haven't put them all up. Where's Pine Tree? So that's page 24. 24. Okay, so we need the light mint fabric, and it's going to be 6.5 by 6.5, so it's going to be this. And white applique glitter. So that's actually going to be a big piece, I think, because it's going to be the whole tree. But I do have this big old bin of stuff, and I'm just going to grab this, because if I can use what's already in my bin, I'll just use this scrap here. This was from a different Kimberbell project, so I'll use that up. I mean, he's kind of tiny, right? Yeah, this is a little guy. He's not very big at all. All right, this is the thread that I'm using for the quilting. So it was Nadine, I think, who did a little research, and they do sell this in a consumer size. I think it's like 250 yards, meters, feet. I'm not sure. But I did order some. It's called Hollow Shimmer, and we did put it up on the website. So I did order some of that. And let's go ahead and get started. What are we going to need for thread colors? We're going to need linen. That's our G. That's it. All right. Here's all my thread. Here's my tray organizer. Love this too. I always show you stuff that I use that I love. I'm never going to show you anything that I think is poopy. Only awesome stuff for you. All right, I'm going to switch over. We're going to come over to my machine. I should put some lights on in my sewing room. I don't have any of my lights on. Hang on a second. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and slide this on. Hello, Miss Wanda. What's going on in Tennessee today? Here we go. Let's load up our design. So if you look at your handy dandy spreadsheet, and I just pull all this information from the book and put it in one spot. We are going to do tree 4. So let's go in here. Everything should be here today. tree 4, and it's going to be this one right here. So there's a horizontal and a vertical. Make sure you choose the right one. Oh my goodness, he's so little. And then we're going to go ahead and set it. And then let's choose our hoop size. I'm using my 5x7, so go to your settings button, just a good habit. And I'm going to choose my 5x7 hoop right here. Okay, you might have to arrow through. Go ahead and say, okay, now we have, look how much, is that really the 5x7? Did I choose a 2x2 design? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, 5x7. Did I transfer the wrong design? Because look how tiny, yeah. Okie dokie. I obviously transferred. See what happens when I try to be all prepared. Hang on. Design database transfer to the rescue. It's always good for you guys to see how easy it is to do this too. Here's my screen. Don't have a heart attack because of all the things I have up. I'm going to push down here. I have it saved to my taskbar. And I have it categorized over here. This is just going to be what's on your computer. And we needed, what? This is trees. So I'm going to hit the plus button. Make sure that I select the right machine to send it to. And I'm going to touch trees. And I'm looking for the 4x4. I find that using the little arrow here is the best. Okay, must be this one right here. I obviously did the 2.5 by 2.5. Then you push the down arrow that says you want to send it. You need to have the right machine selected and just hit send to machine. No USBs. It's already there. That's it. Okay, let me go ahead. Now we should have it. Sorry about that. I guess it's a good learning moment though. Let me put this back. Oh. All right. So I'm going to go add. We can throw that one away later. Design database transfer. It's right here. Set. Let's get rid of this other one. This one right here. Throw it in the trash can. We're not using 2.5 by 2.5. Spitting snow? I wish it was spitting snow here, Betty. Doesn't spit snow anywhere. I want to center this. So rather than centering it just with my finger and guessing, go to your edit keys. Go to your move keys. It'll either show this or the word move. And just hit that center button. That will center it. Okay? Because we're going to center the design to that. So I'm going to say okay. And now let's add. And we are adding. I do need to look at the picture to make sure I'm picking the right one. It doesn't snow in Reno anymore. It's very sad. But this has been the longest winter. I mean, the fall we've ever had. It usually goes from spring and then a week of fall and straight into winter. We've had like the most beautiful, fantastic fall ever, but I don't like it when weather's unseasonably warm. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and select that design. It's one where you can barely see it. Set. And if you look at your handy dandy spreadsheet, it says centered. Where did I get that information? I got it from your book. It'll say both files centered. So I just put it on here so you don't have to look for it. All right, don't do anything here. Just touch embroidery. That will combine your two designs. And my hoop is on, so now I can just go layout, touch that to get to your options. There's my move keys, and I'm going to scoot it all the way up. And that way we can do another embroidery on that sad little piece of fabric. But see, we have enough. All right, let's get our fabric, and I'm going to get my spray tent. Oh my goodness. I was trying to do stuff and Poppy was here and I was trying to transfer those designs and she was jumping on my laptop trying to shut it. Like they know exactly what they're doing. I'm going to put a color in that you can see. I'm going to put this in. And when I say put it in, I am loading it onto my machine. I know you can't see right now. Sorry. I'm leaving my camera over on the side. Because I wanted to load it so I could just go ahead and hit start. Oh, and the other thing is, we're going to be skipping steps. Why do we skip steps? Because it saves you time. I'm going to go right here to this button, and that's where you go forward and backward stitches or even whole colors. So we're going to do that one. That's our placement line. Go ahead and stitch that out. While you're stitching it out, I want you to spray your batting and your background fabric. I am a big user of my dime spray tent with my piece of cardboard that I'll change out. And then here is my batting. And you want to do the nubbier side. That's your wrong side. So that's going to go down. The right side goes up. And then you also want to spray the back of your fabric. Make sure there's nothing icky on there that's going to get sandwiched. I actually I don't like it super cold. I should move to San Diego because I think 70s is perfect. I like 60s and 70s. All right, that's your placement line. If you cut it to size, you can skip the next couple of steps. Cutting it to size, you skip the next step. This step right here, this step is tack down and trim, but we cut our batting to size so we can skip it. This is placement for your background. We're going to lay down our fabric. We don't need that. We're going to skip it, and we're going to do the tack down for the background. So go ahead and put your background fabric down. Now I want you to make sure for the tack down, you pick a color, feel around, make sure you have about an inch and a half all the way around. Pick a color that you can see because that's what you're going to use to trim your block. So this is the tack down of our background, and then we're going to put in our beautiful quilting thread. And I have had no issues, knock on wood. I'm going to say that now, it's going to be awful, right? I've just been using I have an 8012 Microtex needle in, which I love to embroider with that needle too, and it's my go-to for piecing, an 8012 Microtex, and I used that the whole last time that we stitched together, and it was fine. So I'm going to take out my time. Where's everyone at? Are you guys done with this? And you're just here, just showing up? Give me a little support. Threading up. The specialty threads don't always thread. It's nothing to do with your machine. But I find that persistence beats resistance, and I'll just keep trying. Like that didn't thread, but let's do it one more time. Oh, look, it worked that time. Okay. It's got a little bit of rebound. So go ahead and do your quilting. I'm going to let it do a couple of stitches. Oh, that one bedded right down. And I did slow it down, I think, before. I think we're at 800 stitches per minute. I know, I got your note, Miss Susan, and I emailed you back. So I'll get all your goodies out, everything that's in stock. I think the only thing that you won't get is going to be your mistletoe embellishment kit. But since I'm sending your package, I'll send your mistletoe kit, and I'll send everything else. Your stabilizer, your thread, all your goodies. I know I wanted to work on, I was going to work on the wallflower borders, and I don't have any of the fabric here with me. I think I took home like a partial kit. I was like, oh, I don't need the borders right now. And no issues. It's been really, really good since I removed that big, hard spool net that was on there. So I'm going to go ahead, take out my thread, and I'm glad that if you look at, I looked at the instructions, and it did say to use a 9014 needle, but it's been fine with my 8012 Microtex. I try not to use a bigger needle if I don't need it. So I would consider like 7511 a small, an 8012 a medium, and 9014 a large, and then you have ones bigger and ones smaller than that. So, but look at that. Holla. What's next? Whoop. Nope. I don't know what's that is. All right. Bookie book. Next thing it wants you to do is, we just did the quilting, and it wants you to stitch the trunk fill, and I think that's hickory. Let me look in your guide in the very front. No, that's oyster. Oyster, elusive oyster. Can I tell you, they've been sold out of oyster for like 3 weeks. Or maybe even longer than that. I've just been waiting. If you've been waiting for your oyster, I'm so sorry. We have more kits going out tomorrow. If you still need a kit, we'll have them ready to go tomorrow. Okay, stitch out your trunk. And then you're going to get your linen and you're going to stitch your tree placement line, and we're going to stitch down the your white glitter. Miss Catherine, are you still here? I thought you were gone. No? Here we go. There's Miss Donna. Oyster is such a good color. I would say it's like a grayish. Like, it's not really brown. It's like a really warm... Looks more brown there, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to put in my linen. It's just such a good color, though. I was thinking today, I was like, ooh, what can I work on? Because I want to get something on my multi-needle. I do not like when my multi-needle sits. I feel like I'm being wasteful. So I was going to start the Happy Thanksgiving. Because Karen's going to do the table runner. Wait till you see the samples she brought in. They are gorge. And then I was going to just film the wall hanging. I feel like I got those down now. Okay, placement line. While it's doing the placement line, I'm actually going to watch a little bit because I want to see how big. I mean, it looks so little. Maybe I'll just spray like right over here. It's little. I do like to spray if it's like bigger than like 2 inches. I do like to spray this down. He's a little fat and chunky. Let's see. It's probably going to say trim as desired. I'm going to make sure I'm covering. Oop, nope. There was a little spot that wasn't covered. Peek under there. What you don't want is to not have it covered. Whoop. That's not covered. Okay, I think we're good. I'm saving this for later. Just kidding. Just kidding. I wasn't saving that. Okay, here is your tack down. And I'm not even going to press it. I will do that later when I press my block. Okay, trim as desired. To me, that means get out your curved, straight scissors. So I'm going to get those right now. I think I need like a surgical tray. You know, they have all their tools out. Okay, no reaching in, remember? Get your spatula. So if you need it, that's what you're going to be using. There will be no needles through the finger in 2025, 2026, or ever. Those days are gone. You're going to use your little spatulas as your second hand. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and trim this up. And that's it. Then we're done with this block. And you can press it. But I'm not going to press it now. I'll press it later. All right. I like to leave a little bit of an edge because I think it looks better. But you can trim it right to the stitch if you want. I just threw that in the trash can and it felt so bad. I know. I like hoarding all my little bits and pieces. Yes, I still have not cut I know you're like, why are you doing this? Why didn't you cut this on your scan and cut? I still haven't cut vinyls. I think I did during the get to know your scan and cut class that Michelle did. I cut some vinyls and I don't think it was a big deal, but I don't know why. I'm just scared of it. So I want to do vinyls though. Like I want to do like some vinyl sweatshirts. Gail C came into the store the other day and she had a sweatshirt with vinyls on it. I was like, that is so cute. And the holidays are coming up, so I'm like, I want to do some presents. But guess what? Not right now. It really takes me a while to warm up to some things because I don't like change and I don't like technology. But once I embrace it, I'm all in. Like design database transfer, guys. Okay, let's talk about that because I've had a couple people come in and they're trying to do design database transfer on their phone or their iPad, which you've got to be able to do it from a place where you can download and store your designs. So if you can download and store your designs on your phone, guess what? You can do design database transfer from there. I think. I don't know. I don't do it from there. So, but I do it from my computer. That's where I have all my designs stored. So don't get it confused because I had somebody who thought it was the same as Design Snap. No, that is totally different. I should do a more in-depth video. Is this so cute? Oh my God, this tree is adorable. I don't know if you can really, if you can appreciate it. It looks so cute. Is that just adorable? My lighting's not great, so you can't really appreciate it. It looks really good. That's it. You are going to press it down. I'm not going to press it right now. It will get pressed when I what's the word? When I press out all my blocks. Next thing we're going to do, we're already done with one of our blocks. Can you believe it? Next thing we're going to do is let's go on and I am going to do 2 blocks at once. Kind of. I'm going to put them in the same hooping. So these are 4x8, Tundra Rose and Pine Tree 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in my 9.5 by 9.5. Let's put it on the screen of my machine to make sure it fits there well. If you don't have a 9.5 by 9.5, go ahead because that's going to bump this up to 4.5, 4.5 by 8.5, each of these. So 4.5 will fit. They're going to be pretty close together, 1/2 inch. That's all I'm going to have in between. But I'm going to go ahead and try and do in those 2 hoopings. So as long as that works, when I do design data, it says there is not enough room to download it. I don't know what that means, Miss Betty. Does it say it's not enough room on your machine? Because if there's not enough room in your machine, I've never had that. But guess what? Today I went into my machine. Have you ever been successful doing it? I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to touch home. That's going to get me out of here. This morning, before we got started, I went into embroidery. I went to the pocket. I touched this button so I could delete. And then I went through. I mean, this is, wait here. Sorry. I went here and then I touched this to clean it up. And this is all I have in here now. But I probably had like, I don't know, I had maybe 20 rows of stuff. So I went in there and I cleaned it all out and got rid of everything that was in there that I didn't need anymore. So my question to you is what's full? Is it saying this is full? That this area that you can't, there's no room to bring anything else in there? And if so, go ahead and delete it. And if not, it could be your computer that there's it's weird because like when I don't have enough storage on my phone, I can't transfer stuff and I have to delete some stuff. So it might be something like that. Okay, we're going to load this first just to make sure it's going to work. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to choose the hoop size first. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do my 9.5 by 9.5 by 9.5. If it doesn't fit there, I can always go up to my 10.5 by 10.5, or you could do these one at a time in your 6 by 10 if you want to do it that way. So, that means we can go back to maximum speed too. The magnetic hoops, you cannot go to maximum speed. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back at 1,050 stitches per minute. And let's look for our design. First thing we need to find is plant 15. Whoops. Why is he blurry? Plant 15 4x8. Plant 15. This is plant 15. Oh, it wants to delete. I don't want to delete. Let's unselect that. Deselect that. Okay, I'm going to go back to selecting the design. I have all my designs in a document folder on the computer, and it says there is not enough room to use it. It's not on the machine. I have no idea. You could ask Patrick. Patrick might be able to answer that question. So Betty, send an email to Patrick. If you don't have his email address, email me and then I'll forward to him and see what he says. He's so good with all that stuff. He just knows. Oops, I only wanted it once. I'm going to go ahead and set it. And I'm going to put the other design on here too. So I'm going to set that. I'm going to add to it. And we're going to add, what are we adding? Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. And we're adding Tundra Rose, which is the single flower. It's this one right here. Go ahead and set, and it's centered. So I want to take this and move it all the way over to the left. So I can do a couple of things. I think, let's do this. If you don't have that feature where you can group on your machine, just touch embroidery. I'm going to take this layout because it's combined in this screen. I'm going to go to my move arrows and I'm going to move it all the way to the left. And I might as well move it all the way up. I don't know which stabilizer I'm using. If it's running up and down, I'll move it up. If it's running left to right, then I'll move it over. Actually, let's just center it. I think I had a piece that was just big enough to fit. Okay. So that's why this is so important, so you know how far you can move it over. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to go back to the previous screen. You can't add in this screen. Your layout screen, you can't add anything. So I'm just going to hit return, and now I'm going to hit add. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to stitch these individually, but I just want to put them on here to see if they're going to fit. And then the other thing for behind pine tree, we are going to put tree 4 4x8. Tree 4. You have 2 tree 4s. Make sure you select the right one. You want the one where the trees are going left to right. Set. Edit. Move arrows. I'm going to scoot them over. Okay, we're good. I just wanted to make sure there was plenty of room in between. It's not a ton of room. I might have to fold back my fabric. I'm not going to put the other design in right now. What I'm going to do is I will stitch this one out and then I'll throw that away, but I just want it in here for the spacing and that I can do both of them in one hooping. Does that make sense? So I'll just leave that. I'll come back later once I stitch this part out. I'm going to come out of my layout screen. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to add the design and then I'll throw this away. But just so I have my spacing all set. Hopefully that's not too confusing. We're going to come back to this. We're not going to stitch that out right now. I just wanted to put it in there. I'm going to grab my 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop. Here it is. And I'm going to get hooped up. Ooh, I'm getting hot. Let me take off my sweatshirt. Okay, hang on. Here we go. I need to find a suitable piece of muslin, and I had one this morning. And then, of course, I put it away. I was like, why did I just do that? No. That's why these have to be a little bit bigger, right? Oh, perfect. Oh, okay, that'll work. Let's go ahead and put this in. I still like these hoops. I still love these hoops. This is what you have? Good. I use these hoops for like the first I don't know, 15 years that I embroidered, so it's okay if this is what you're using. I'm going to put my clips down on the bottom so it doesn't make a big mess. I've learned not to put the clips on the sides because it hits the embroidery arm. And then I'm going to put my hoop on. Always make sure arrows point to the top and they match the arrows up there. And I tell people hoop like a soup bowl. You want your hoop to look like this and not flat on the top. Once a month, somebody comes in with their hoop upside down. And that's okay. You're learning. Don't worry. Don't ever feel bad. We're always learning. Okay. Pull out your wrinkles. Pull in, not up. So I'm going to grab my fabric and gently. You don't want to distort. You're like, that didn't look gentle. Yeah, I didn't leave a lot of extra room. That's all. My hand came off. Make sure it's nice and flat. And if you can tighten it a little more, but this felt pretty snug. That's what this hoop tightener is for. It's for that screw, but it also fits right on here too. You might have a blue one. Ooh, as long as it turns easily, you should not be cranking it. You can break these. And if you ever break this, your dealer should be able to fix this for you. Most of this is fixable. Patrick can fix that. If you have one, don't throw it away. Patrick can fix it. Okay, we're hooped. Let's come over to the machine. Doop, doop. What are we doing, Pine Tree 3? Let me grab my hoop. My hoop. My hoop. How's my bobbin looking? Looks pretty sad. I might have to change that out. Ugh. Okay, remember, these hoops might be sticky. If they're sticky, hold it up here and slide it on and make sure this doesn't move. If ever your machine is suddenly stitching where it shouldn't be stitching, then I want you to just go, oh, I must have moved this or hit my arm or done something. How come I can't get this on anymore? Oh, he is tight. Super, super tight. This is a brother or baby lock hoop. It's OEM. It's manufactured. It's not a knockoff. They're just, some of them are just tight on there. So I don't want you to think something's wrong with your hoop or your machine. I don't know why. They have some hoops that slide on so beautifully and some that are tight. It's frustrating. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and touch embroidery. And I'm only going to stitch out this side. When it gets to this, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to wait until I combine it. Let's see. And I'm going to go here where we go forwards and backwards stitches. And let me go ahead and grab my fabric. What was this, Pine Tree 3? My book. Pine. Oh, Tundra Rose. We're going to do Tundra Rose first because that's what's loaded. So let me grab my Tundra Rose. Oh my God, is this one so cute? Let me grab my Tundra Rose. Tundra Rose. It feels so good because I have so few pouches left. Here's my Tundra Rose pouch. Let me grab it. What's the fabric look like? Tundra Rose is on page 25. Wait a minute. That's wrong. Oops. Oopsies. Made a mistake on your spreadsheet. I have to fix that. Where's Tundra Rose? Here it is. Tundra Rose is on page 20. How did I do that? It makes me angry when it's not perfect for you. Okay, so that's the fabric we're looking for. And then you have the bloom, the inner, and the leaves. So you should have 3 applique pieces. I'm going to go ahead and turn my iron on, my little clover iron. Oopsies, made a mistake. I'm going to have to fix that. Page 20. Here is my fabric and my batting. I'm going to go put that in my spray tent. And here's my, I think these are my Tundra rose pieces. Look at all these. Okay. All of this. So I'm going to go ahead and put that over here on the side too. Is there one more piece? Oh, yeah. And then there's this part of the flower too. So you have a bunch of leaves. You have the top purple part. And then you have all the top purple part, the little green part, and all of those leaves. And what I have here in my bag, what's left over, is for the snow bird. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side. Then the other thing we're going to need is this. This is Pine Tree 3. So we're going to need that next. All right. Let's choose a color you can see first, and something that's going to contrast this fabric right here. I'm just going to leave the linen. I know you can't see it perfectly, but you'll be able to see it at least a little bit. Here is my spray tent. This is my spray Ganold. Somebody was telling me that their shop was selling Ganold for $29. We sell this for $15. It should last you a pretty long time. And their store had it for $29.99. There are 2 versions of it. So there is an economy, and then there's, I don't know if it's called the regular or what it is, but the other one is $30. But I've never felt like, well, I've always used the economy. I've never used the other one, but I've never felt like, oh my God, I need more stick. So, so if your store has the other stuff, it might just be that they are selling you the fancy stuff. But we at A1 Vacuum Sewing, we're not fancy. Okay, here we go. I could have bumped this design up. I probably should have done that, but I wasn't sure which way I was running my stabilizer. Now I'm going to put this on. I could have left those threads because this fabric is really nice and dark. So, and we're probably going to have to fold this back so to get it out of the way when we do the other one. All right, we're going to skip some steps. Yeah, maybe I'll use the other one. I've never used the other one. This is the tack down for the batting. We're cut to size, so we're going to skip it. This is the placement stitch for the background. We're not going to do that. And we are going to do the tack down. I'm using the linen in there because we're going to fussy cut to this. Yeah, Betty, you need to figure that out because design database transfer is so great. Have you ever been able to do it or never? It's never worked for you? I was trying to do something and Patrick's like, you don't have... Did you tell me I didn't have enough memory? I've tried to transfer things on my phone and not had enough memory. I'm like, really? What if it lets me put it on there? Shouldn't I have enough memory? Okay, now we're going to do the quilting stitch. So let me put in my fancy thread. Because I love it. Like, I have a drawer full of USBs. And who knows if they'll ever get used again. Okay, I'm threading up. Sometimes when I use this threader like this, it doesn't thread, and I feel like maybe it just has too much rebound. Let me think. Oh, I think it went through. Little tail went through. Okay, go ahead and stitch this out. This is 2 minutes of stitching. I'm going to pull that out and trim that. For my snips. Here we go. I'm going to baby it up here on top. I'm going to baby that thread and just make sure it doesn't get kinked at all. Oh, you have been able to do it and now you can't do it? Yeah, send a note to Patrick. Maybe he'll have a suggestion for you. Ooh, that would make me really mad if I could do it and then I couldn't do it. I'd be like, what's going on? It's like having like something you like. It's like Trader Joe's having like a food you really like and you get it all the time and then they cancel it. And you're like, I can't get that food anymore. Hopefully we can fix it. Okay, you're doing your quilting stitch. What I love about these aren't going to be that long. These are kind of fast stitch outs. Yeah, maybe. Maybe try to pull it out of that folder. If you're using the recommended color for this design is aquamarine. Who's stitching today? Anyone stitching with me? Miss Susan. Okay, when I take my thread out, I don't pull it back. I do unthread it. So you got to make sure the foot is up and this trapdoor is not shut. And I just unthread it to right here, and then there's no resistance. This is where, when thread gets wrapped up, a lot of times it happens right here. So, just showing that off to you. Let's go ahead and get threaded up. What do we need next? We are... Where's my book? Tundra Rose. So... after the quilting, go to your embroidery instructions. Always check there. We're going to go, number 1, stitch the bloom placement line. And it's asking for amethyst. So go ahead and grab your purple. I'm going to thread that up. My iron should be heated up. I have a little ironing pad here. I am no longer, well, this one. Because the hoop's so hard to get on and off. I just want to, nope. Jeannie, don't even think about it. Because I have a learning disability, and my disability is I cannot remember to pull the mat out every single time. I stitch it down. Okay, here's your placement stitch for the little purple part. Look, here's the proof. Look at all of that. That's all the times I've stitched my mat down. Did you notice how many different colors were there? Because I've done it so many times. I wonder if the other placement... I'm going to see what the other placement... If I could do all of them all at once, wouldn't that be great? Stitch... No. Okay, we're going to pull it off. It's worth it. It's worth it. So I have my little mat here. So they sell the regular ones, and these are the snap hoop ones. What you never want to, You like that? What you never want to do with the snap hoop one, and probably the regular one, do not iron on this with steam. The rubber will melt and it'll like shrink up. So no steam ever on these mats. Ask me how I know. Yes, I have one that's all shriveled up. Yes, I do. Yes, I did that. I did. Wait, make sure you have the fusible side down. That's also something I would do. And then I'd try to cover it up and not show it to you because I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be like, no, that's not my piece sticking to the bottom of my iron. I know. Okay, that one's done. Slide it back on. If you are cutting it, then what I want you to do is I want you to do the next step. The next step is going to be the tack down, and you're going to trim. I'm skipping that step because I've already placed it. So if you haven't done it yet, this is for your tack down and trim. I'm skipping it, and I'm going to do that step, which is the decorative stitch. Go ahead and do the decorative stitch. Any tips using monopoly thread? My spool kept getting twisted, tangled, as if spooled off. Should I have tried running it longer from the machine? I do not have any tips because I've always, when I do my monopoly, I put it up here. It comes with a spool net on it. So I use it with the spool net. I do also have a big king cone of monopoly and I run it from here. I've never had any issues. I don't know. Anyone else? I would look it up and see monopoly because they'll give a recommendation as to your needle. I think I have some people who say that they decrease their upper tension. If you ever do that, though, I want you to put your tension back to the regular tension because what it's set at is optimal for most sewing situations. So I'd say use the spool net. I don't know. What else do people know? Chime in. Tell us what your recommendations for monopoly. I use it all the time and I just run it just like a regular thread on my machine. Okay, now we're going to stitch the bloom detail and it wants you to use color E. I think it's Pale Mist, but let me confirm. No, yes, Pale Mist. Good thing I saw it laying on my floor earlier today, or else I'd be searching for it. I was like, oh, look, there's my Pale Mist laying on the floor halfway underneath my table. Of course, I didn't even pick it up. I just made a little note in my head that when I went to go use my Pale Mist, it was peeking out from underneath my table on the floor. Spool knit. You can also turn it down. When I did stitch, it was beautiful. And I use monopoly. The only time I ever use it is for stitching in the ditch, to be honest with you. So I don't know what you were doing with it too. What were you doing? Were you quilting with it? Some people quilt with it. Okay, let me look at my instructions. Okay, stitch the bloom detail. So you're putting in your Pale Mist and you're doing the bloom detail. Do you like how not helpful I am? Some things I'm just not sure. I Google a lot of stuff. People will come into the store and they'll be like, I'm sewing this kind of fabric with this needle. What should I be using? And I'll just Google it because, yeah, I don't know sometimes. I don't want to give you wrong information. After you do this, we're going to grab color D, which is Time, and we're going to stitch the inner bloom placement line. So grab your Time. That's going to be this earthy green. Yeah, I do leave that spool net on because it can kind of get poofy. I'm going to use sometimes I use my cutter that I put on the side. It's just easier. You do have to pull your tail because it's long when you do that. I cut this thread. All right, we're going to lay down that next little piece. And you know what I want? I want to do all those leaves. Nope, can't do it. Not time yet. Okay, put this over here. I'm going to slide this off. Make sure that iron is on, that your piece is on your little ironing mat. I do love my little spatulas for this too, so I don't have to get my finger in the way. Don't hold it down too long. I found that my clover iron, when I have it set super high, it will melt stuff. It'll melt and burn. Okay, slide that hoop back on. Hold this when you slide it. And if you did not cut to size, you're going to do the next step, which is going to be your tack down and trim. If you're cut to size and you fused it, we're going to just do that step, which is going to do the decorative stitching on, what is this part called? So we did the placement line. You're going to do the trim, tack down and trim, and now we're going to stitch the inner bloom decorative outline. So I'm skipping this part because mine was cut to size, but I'm going to do step 7. So go ahead and hit start. On your screen, if you did the block by block quilting, it's going to be step 12. Just look on your screen and make sure you're seeing the right thing. Oh, you were doing a stitch in the ditch? So you were doing a stitch in the ditch. Classic Christmas. Yes. Maybe decrease the tension, the upper thread tension. That might help. I'm just throwing that out there because I've heard some people say they do that. And by some people, I mean like one. and then I could be making it up too. That maybe nobody ever even said that. I'm just making it up in my head. Okay. We're going to stitch the inner bloom detail. You're going to go ahead and put in your linen. And then we're going to do the placement leaves. The leaves placement line. That's going to be next. And it is going to be in azure, which is light blue. Guys, we are almost done with this. I'm finishing mine this week. I want to say I'll finish my homework tonight, but I don't know if I will for sure. Let me go ahead and take out my linen thread. I'm going to put the azure in, and we're going to do the leaves placement line. Look at your screen. Just make sure it's showing you the right thing. Patrick was gone all day yesterday, and usually he's like, his ride, I thought he said he'd be done between 1 and 2 o'clock, and then he didn't finish. I didn't hear from him until 4:30. So then I started to get really worried because all his friends have been in really bad mountain bike accidents. So I started worrying, thinking, oh my God, I have to go find him in the woods and save his life. And then he sent me a note that said, at my car, and I was like, oh, it must have been an epic day. But I think that man needs a less dangerous hobby. So we're going to do, this is step 9 in our instructions right now. I'm doing this. We're stitching the placement line. Mine are cut to size, so if yours not, you're going to do step 10, which is going to do the tack down trim. I'm just going to be laying mine down and fusing them down. All right, here we go. When you slide it off too, if they're sticky, put your hand here, grab it, stabilize it. Put this over on my mat. And now I'm going to go ahead and iron all these pieces down if I can figure out where they go. Make sure you have heat and bond side down. It feels like a little glossier. I'm going to feel them all and just make sure mine are all fabric side up and heat and bond down. And now let's see if I can even figure out where they go, because my, let's get the light over here. Maybe that's a little better. Because it's so close to the other color. That looks right there. This is big. That one right here. Oop. I need my book. I should have done this in a different color, huh? Okay, 2 big leaves down on the bottom. Here's one. This one, and I don't know where. This one and this one. Oh, Patrick just shut the dogs out. They were trying to come down. Okay, that one probably is right there. And this one is... Why don't we start with those? We'll start with those so they're not moving anywhere. What I love about this iron is just for pieces like this, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's too small. But for pieces like this, it's perfect. Because you want a small tip. All right, I have no idea where these little itty bitties go. Let me figure that out. Oh, there's like a little spot here where there's 3 of them. 1. This one up here, and this one down here. And that should be it. I think we'll have gotten it all. I'm going to do one of these at a time. Oh, guess what? That was upside down. Hang on. Yeah, I think I had that one the wrong side. Okay, so maybe there. We're down. I think that's it. Got it. You could do a cup. That was kind of hard to see. It really was. That will challenge you. But they're all on. Yeah. Well, I think he's got, oh God. There we go. I think he's got GPS. Like he's got some kind of GPS. I don't know if so sometimes he's like way out deep in the woods. And so I don't know if it always works there. Okay, trim the leaves. So if you need to, you're going to go ahead and trim the leaves right now. I'm skipping that step. That's step 10. I'm going to step 11, which says stitch the leaves, decorative outline, and stem fill. You should have azure in there. I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. What is the name of the heating tool? Oh, this is the clover iron. So this is, what is it called? The Clover 2. It's like the Clover 2. You got to get the Clover 2 if you want the big spade. Because it comes with this little spade. Look at it. Which, I mean, if you're doing really small, delicate stuff, this would be good. But I prefer the big spade. And they sell it where it's just the iron, and then they sell it where you can get it with all the tips, all the different attachments. Oh, guess what? I forgot to skip this step. I told you to skip it and I didn't. So that's why you're seeing that. This is what we should be doing. Sorry about that. That's why it's doing that outline stitch right there. I'm like, oh, good thing it fit in there so perfectly. And then I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's the tack down to trim. It's okay. Okay, while it's doing this, why don't we head over to, because this is 6 minutes of stitching. I know that's not a huge amount of time, but maybe I'll cut some pieces and get them going on my other machine. I gotta make sure I don't accidentally cut up my binding strips. What are we doing the binding with? Oh, the binding is gonna be the snowflake fabric. 2.5 inches, 5 of those. Right. You want a bunch of different rulers. I would say grab your rotating mat if you have one for the smaller pieces. I'd say have your rotating mat, a regular mat, and ironing all in one spot. Okay, here we go. We're going on a trip. Okay, so I set this up earlier today. So I've got an iron, I've got my clappers, my sewing machine. If I'm straight stitching, sometimes I like to just stitch on this, my PQ 1500. I feel like this is a machine everyone should have because this is great. You know what? I really, really use it if I'm going through heavy, heavy stuff because it's semi-industrial. It's a straight stitch only machine, so it's not... you can't just have this machine because you need a zigzag sometimes. You need some stitches sometimes. But sometimes when I'm just sitting here and my embroidery machine is going, I usually have this set up kind of over there across the room, and I watch TV and I just piece on it. So I'm gonna grab, here's my fabric right here, my coffee. And I'll just start piecing my pieces together. I'll use the big ones first. The big ones, because I want to get it done fast. But then I use all the little itty bitties as well. Do I have something I can show you where I piece the back? You guys have seen what I do. So I'm going to use this in there. This is a long piece. I don't know what this was for, but we'll use this. I'm going to trim off all the ends. I'm going to square everything up and make sure. I was like, should I use this? I actually did keep that. Can you believe it? You're like, I can't believe she's keeping that junk. Yes, I am. So I could put this together with this one. I needed a little piece off the bottom of this. So I'll just start the bigger pieces. I'll start doing those. And then these, I'll use all of this up. So something like this, I'll use this, but I'll cut that little outie off. So I'll start squaring some stuff up first. And then I'll just put together what fits. I'd say it probably takes me, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours to piece together my back. I just got sick of having all these like little random pieces of fabric, but some of you like it and you want it because you're using those pieces in case you have an oopsie. Yeah, in case you have an oopsie, they're really important, right? My stash has saved me before. So I'll use this. So I just start by doing this and just squaring everything up. Okay, machine's done. Let's go back over. There's my ottoman. That's where I sit. That's where Poppy and I sit together. Sometimes Momo will climb onto if he's not too scared of Poppy. Yeah, she's little. He's totally scared of her. We had to separate them the other day. We were giving him snacks, and she went after him. Okay, we put her in her crate so he could just enjoy his snack. I'm sure he loves it. He's like, look at me. Mommy and Daddy are protecting me. Okay, stitch the berries fill. Hi, Miss Cheryl. Berries fill in E. I think E is... Why can't I remember this? E is pale mist. So, oh, look how good that looks. Does that look so good? Okay, go ahead and put in your pale mist. I think we're almost done with this one. Pale mist, and then we're going to put linen in, and then we're done. We are just cruising along. I liked this. You know, I like the ones where there's some special stuff, but I like it when there's a lot of easy blocks too. Somebody came in the other day and they grabbed Cup of Chair. It was going to be their first machine embroidery. And I was like, you can do it, but it's a big bite. I was like, just take your time. You know, and then we ended up, instead of her getting that, we were like, how about this Tooth Fairy pillow project? It was going to be her first embroidery project. We decided that might be a better place to start. Okay, so we're going to stitch all these berry fills, and then we're going to put linen in, and we're going to stitch the leaf detail, and then we're done with this one. Yes. I mean, you can do it. There's no reason you can't do it, but it definitely is a big bite. My very first, wasn't my first Kimberbell, maybe my first Kimberbell quilt that I attempted to do was, it was, what's the, it's one of the Christmas ones. Not Cup of Chair, but anyways, it's still not done. It started off with, I think, mistletoe, and my mistletoe kept puckering, and I didn't know that I should do, I didn't know that I should put Shape Flex on the back. I didn't know I could press it out, and I attempted it like 3 times, and I was like, forget it. Oh, Jingle All the Way. That's like the very first one I started, and it's still in a box. It's in a basket. All the fabric, everything. And I just never went back to it. Someday I'm going to do it. It's going to be so gorgeous. I'm not going to be scared, and it's going to come out, and it's going to be excellent. But not today. Pumpkins and Potions I thought was great. And, like, I think if you have somebody walk you through it, that there's, like, yeah, why not just jump right in? It was a lot. Priscilla, I still haven't finished mine. I have to do the embellishments. I think it's actually, what's that? Oh my God. Guess what? So I haven't finished, that looks really cute. That was Pale Mist, put in your linen. I haven't finished, what is it, Sea of Tranquility, because I lost 2 of my blocks. And guess what? I just found them. They were in the most random place. Like, they fell into, I have those little binder books, and I think I must have dropped them, and it fell between the pages of the binder book. It was like the most random place in the entire world. And I just found them. So I'm like, okay, guess I need to finish that up. I have a drawer of shame right over here. Let's look in it. Ah, look at this. Not done. All I need to do is, what did I need to do on this? Oh, look. I just need to quilt this border and this border, and I didn't do it. Not done. Drawer of shame. Oh, look at this. Not done. I just need to sew it together. Drawer of shame. Ooh. Cup of Chair. Not done. All it needs is binding and embellishments. Look how cute it is. Drawer of shame. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Not done. This is... Oh. 2 scoops. So cute. Oh, look at, this is the back of 2 scoops. So remember how I told you I piece everything together? So I just take the biggest pieces, and I just start sewing. So, and I use up all the scraps. So this is the back of 2 scoops. What else is in here? Oh, zippy bags. Okay. Who wants to look at that when we can look at something shiny and new? Let's do this. Shiny and new. Oh, we're done. Okay, we're going to do the next one. Let's show you how we're going to load it. Let's show you how we're going to load it. So we're not going to do the next one right now. We're just going to go ahead and say, okay. I am going to go out of this page because you can do a couple editing things, but not that much. I'm going to say, okay, to get out of here. And we're going to go return. You're like, she's so close. Why can she not finish? That's a good question. I do finish a lot. But, you know, when you step away from something, like, I don't even know where I'm at with the embellishments on Cup of Chair. And so I need to get back there. So it's best to just get your project and finish the whole thing. Otherwise, it is kind of back. It's hard for me. Okay, this is my main edit page. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this stuff away. So I'm going to touch it and put it in the trash can. And I'm going to touch that and put it in the trash can. And now I know my spacing and I know it worked. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to add. So I'm going to add to that and we're adding tree 3. You guys know all my dirty secrets. You know my drawer of shame. Yeah, I have drawer of shame. I have shelves of shame. Pine tree 3. Let's look and see what it looks like. Pine tree 3. Maybe I have the right page on here. It says page 29. I got to remember to fix that spreadsheet. I don't want to confuse anyone. Okay, so it's the long, skinny blue one. That's what we're looking for. So let's go here. I put mine in Design Database Transfer. And we're looking for the long, skinny tree. That's my Patrick tree. Let's go ahead and set it. In our other house, I used to like my trees like I like my men, tall and skinny, but we had like really high ceilings. In this house, we don't have high ceilings. So I'm going to center these. I'm going to take this one and center it. And that way I know, and to center it, you're just going to go ahead and hit the center button. Now the next screen, I'll slide them back over. I just wanted to make sure spacing was going to be okay. I think it's going to say centered. So we're just going to say okay, and let's move everything. I'm not going to bump it up because I didn't bump the other one up. So, but I could have saved myself another inch. So let's go right here. We are in, this page is our page. Oh, wait. Shoot, I didn't hit embroidery yet. We want to touch embroidery because when you touch embroidery, it'll combine them. Then we can go layout, move, and let's scoot it all over. And I have my hoop on so it won't go outside of my embroidery field. I can just hold that button down and then it's going to stop. All right. You need to fold this back. If you don't fold it back, it's going to get stitched down. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it back and I'm going to tape it. Transport tape's the best tape. It's just, it rips easy. It's super sticky. You don't need a tape dispenser. I do love my paper tape. I use my paper tapes. There's times when I prefer my paper tape. When I don't want as much stick, I'm going to use my paper tape. But that's just like when I'm on batting and stuff. For the most part, I want as much stick as I can get. This is used up icky tape that's sitting on the front of my table. Oh, that piece I need this to really stay down. Here we go. There we go. We want that out of the way. All right, first thing it's going to do, it's going to do a placement line. I'm just going to leave in the, now let's put a different color in that we can see better. How about burnt orange? That sounds good. I'm glad those videos helped. I need videos. Somebody needs to send me videos on embellishments because I don't remember. You know what happened? I started stitching down the embellishments and all I remember, there were pieces that had Velcro where you needed to do the Velcro. And, okay, I'm going to go here to this button so I can see the stitch out. We're going to do the placement line for the batting. I did that and then I put the wrong piece of Velcro down and I said no mas, and that was it. And then I never went back again. I don't know what my problem is. And now it's been so long, I don't even know where everything is. You saw the main quilt, but I have no idea where all the pieces are. I kind of have an idea. I have a drawer of shame that I think it's all in. Drawer of shame. Pine Tree 3. This is your fabric. You have a little stumpy stump. Let's go ahead and give this. I have heat and bond light on, so I'm not going to spray that. See how shiny it is? It's my fusible. I just feel like someday I'm going to have more time. Someday I want to, like, my goal is someday to just do videos with you guys and not be in the store for the day-to-day, like, for all of that stuff. And then we can just do the fun stuff, right? Not that being in the store is great, too. I love seeing everyone. I'm a people person, so I need that social interaction as well. Okay, batting first. Batting. Haha. You know, and really the video started because I was like, well, I'm going to do it anyways. Let's film it. And sometimes the videos are really good and sometimes they're not. But you guys are always so kind to me and understanding. Okay, make sure. And you want to put this down because it is kind of directional, right? You don't want it to be like crazy askew. We're going to skip some steps. So back here, say okay, and we are going to skip the tack down for the batting, the placement stitch for the background, and we're going to do the tack down for the background. Make sure this fabric is folded back, although it'd probably just get like trimmed off anyways, but make sure it's folded back. I got up this morning and I was dissolving all of my freestanding lace. It took me like an hour and a half because there were so many pieces. So I'm hoping that after this I can put it all together because I have both bridges all stitched out and ready to go. And then I want to start the wall. I just love making. Okay, we're going to do the quilting stitch. So go ahead and take out your burnt orange, put in whatever color you're going to use for the quilting. If you're doing what it calls for, I think it's pale mist. So I think we're going to be ready this week for the, for the pillow. Lynn had sent me a note about what pillow it was, and I don't know the name of it. I keep giving you guys the wrong name. Is it called Snow Time or Snow Days or Let It Snow? I don't know what it's called. So she had sent me a note, and I was like, I can't even remember the name of it, so I couldn't even look it up. I was like, I have to look it up later. So, yeah, if you want this thread to go with it, I have some of it coming, but they only had like 3 boxes of it. I think I have 15 spools. Okay, baby that thread. Look at your screen. Make sure it's stitching out what you want to stitch out. This is my quilting stitch. Yes, it is stitching what I want it to stitch out. You need the navy flocked vinyl for this. So get your embellishment kit and find, oh, look at this. Empty. That always feels so good. I always like peel this off once I have it. Don't think I've seen, oh my God, it's so cute. I have it on, oh no, you know what? I don't have it on the website. I was going to say I have it on the website. What happened? Why did the machine stop? Did I hit something? Must have hit something. All right. Oh, bobbin's almost empty. Always cut. Hit your cut button, and then we're going to change our bobbin. I should have checked before I slid on this sticky hoop. Okay, hold it here. If you're sliding these on and off, and then you slide it back on, and you're like, oh no, it is stitching in the wrong place, that means this is moved. And it's an easy problem to solve. You just turn your machine off and back on again and let it recalibrate. It's not a big deal. Don't stress out. Your machine is not broken. I had somebody call the other day because they said that had happened. And I was like, I want you to just turn the machine off and back on again. It moved. Sorry. Yard cleanup. They're right outside my door. And then I never heard back from her, so I'm hoping that that solved it for her. There we go. I'm going to go back 10 stitches. That's what I like to do. Let it snow. Why can't I remember that? Why do I keep calling it snow days? Okay. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I'll remember it now. Let it snow. Just look up Kimberbell Let It Snow. It's going to be their newest 22-inch square pillow. We have 48 kits cut right now. We're just waiting for a snowflake fabric because they discontinued that. So I found 2 different fabrics that I got, and we'll put in whatever's cutest. Where's my embellishment kit? Okay, here it is. Do I need to put is it this? I think it's this. It is not on the website yet. Because I don't have that one fabric yet, so it's going to be here this week. I want to see it first. I want to see it, make sure I love it. If I don't love it, we're just going to put in the white with the polka dot. We're going to make a substitution. Navy flocked vinyl. Okay, so is the vinyl... Hang on. How's it feel? Does it feel flocked? I've never used flocked vinyl before. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so here's my flocked vinyl. It's in your embellishment kit, and if you touch it, it feels like fuzzy. So I'm not stabilizing with anything. It looks like it has some kind of heat adhesive on it. That's what we're putting down. Okay, we're done with that. You want to put in your oyster. So grab your oyster thread. Yeah, not yet. This week. You know me, I'm like so picky. I want to make sure I love it. I want your kits to be fantastic. It bums me out that they put like fabric. They'll put fabric in that's discontinued. So I can't get any more of the snowflake fabric. I'm keeping whatever I have left for the Enchanted kits. But I found some other stuff I think will look good. And the design doesn't come out until December anyways. So we can't really do anything with it anyways. Okay, this is the placement stitch for the trunk. We're gonna fuse this down. Uh-oh, I lost my wool mat. Here it is. Okay, if you don't have it pre-cut, I just want you to go to do the tack down and trim. For a second, I thought I had it on the wrong way. Tack down and trim. Oop. And then look at my Martelli table. Has like the, sorry, you can't see it because the filming arm. Has a little hole there and it just fits perfectly, and that's where I keep my iron. All right, I'm going to skip the next step because I already cut mine. And I'm going to do that step, which is the decorative stitch. Go ahead and just let it do the decorative stitching. We'll see you, Miss Susan. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, if you like the content, to subscribe to our page and to give us a thumbs up too. That always helps. Somehow. I think with the algorithm. I don't even know what that really means, but... Okay, after we do this is the decorative stitch satin outline. That's going to be step number 3 right here. We're doing this decorative stitching. Then we're going to put in our, I think, marlin. And we're going to do the placement stitch. We're going to put down our flocked vinyl. We'll do the tack down, and then it says remove the tape. Trim close to the stitch line. We're going to trim close. Do not skip this action. You know what? I want you to go ahead, and we are going to press it right then, because what happens is if you don't, sometimes when the pieces are bigger, you get bubbles in there. So we're not going to, because they highlighted and said do not skip, we're going to go ahead and do that for sure, and we'll use a pressing cloth for that. And then we'll do the outline stitch. Did I use the right color? What's I? I is oyster, right? Yes, oyster. For a second I thought, were we supposed to use hickory? We're cruising. We're cruising. It's 1:36. We've been stitching for about an hour and a half. And this is our third block. Okay, go ahead and put in B is for... It'd be nice if they just did like M for marlin. So go ahead and put in your marlin. I can't decide what I'm going to work on after this. I should just finish this up. We got to finish this up because Sweetheart Street's coming out. I think I'll be ready to ship some stuff at the end of the week, and then some stuff's going to be next week. I'm not sure when I'm going to get the fabric kits. Okay, get your flocked vinyl. We're not going to press it down until after we've trimmed. Kimberbell is really good at sourcing good stuff. I am going to give it a little shot of spray. Even though we are going to fuse it, I'm going to give it a little shot of spray too. It was just a little itty bitty. And I always try to lay it down so I can have some left. And don't forget, this is a trim right to the stitch, so you can just barely cover it and you should be good to go. All right, we're going to do the tack down because I did not cut this. I did not pre-cut it. Okay, we're going to trim it close to the stitch line. Get a pair of snips. Is this vinyl as awesome as it looks? Yes, it is. So who cut this on their Scan and Cut? And when you cut it on your Scan and Cut, do you put it carrier side down, like the plastic coating side? Or do you put the fusible side down? Okay, we're going to cut it close to the stitch. These are my Havels, and these are my number 2s. These used to be my number 1s, my favorite, until I got my Kimberbell ones, and I was like, oh my God, the Kimberbell ones are so good. I haven't used these in a while. These are great too. I feel like the Kimberbell ones are just a little bit stronger, but I could be making it up in my head. Maybe I just want them to be stronger because they're mint green and so pretty. Watching while I'm working, sewing on just strips to sew. What are you working on? Been watching flower blocks. When you say flower blocks, are we talking wallflower? I sewed all my stuff. I have the video, so I'll send that out. But I sewed all my blocks together. Oh my God, it was so cute. I said in my video, I was like, I'm kind of sick of looking at this fabric. I was kind of sick of it because we've been looking at it all year. But I sewed it all together and I was like, oh, I love it. I'm ready for something new. And I can't wait to, well, I can wait to do the borders. Like, I'm not looking forward to doing them. I was looking at them this morning. Like, I'm going to measure it out and see. I'm going to just measure it and see what size hoops. I'll send you some instructions on, like, what to cut your fabric to. So we're ready for December. But I do have, I did the video and I took pictures to send to you guys. Innies and outies and outies and innies. Oh my goodness. So when I was stacking everything to sew everything together, I couldn't find, there was probably like 10 blocks I couldn't find. And I was like, I am not stitching these again. And then I found the bag. I was like, is it at the store? That's kind of how I ended up cleaning out all my batting and all my muslin, because I was looking for those blocks. And I started to freak out because I was like, I mean, if I had to do it, I would have done it, but I was not looking forward to stitching out all those blocks again. Because I did 4, instead of 2, I did 4 of everything because I was doing 2 different quilts. The Mickey Kim one and the other one. And then finally I found it and I was like, oh, what a relief. And everything was in that bag. Like all my missing blocks. I didn't have to keep looking. I was like, what if there's only like, what if I'm missing 1 block from each quilt? Then I have to start stitching. And thankfully it was all there. That is really cute. Okay, remember, we're not skipping because, and this is a good time to use your whole big iron, but I wasn't smart enough to heat mine up. So I'm going to, well, you know what? I am going to heat mine up. Heat up your big iron. This is going to take forever if you use the little one. So I'm heating mine up. I'm going to grab my goddess sheet, pressing sheet. This is my Teflon sheet. It's my favorite. I love it because it comes in different sizes. I like it because it's not too thick. It's like just perfect. But I'm going to feel it and just make sure there's no fusible on here because I don't want that fusible to get onto my flock. And I know that side felt really good, so I'm going to just iron it on with this side. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I should show you. Here, I'll grab. Since we're just sitting here waiting for the iron to heat up. I'll move this. So, I know my ottoman is kind of grody, but this is what you should have. You're going to have, and I don't know if this is going to be the top one, but you're going to have the top row and you want the border stitched on. And then you're going to have one of these, and this might not be the right order, but I want all 6 of these sewn together. There's going to be a little horizontal border that goes in there. And then you're going to have your next row. This should all be stitched together. Don't worry about putting your embellishments on yet. Then this is going to be sewn on. You should have this next row. Don't sew them all together if you're doing the other stuff. And then you're going to have that bottom row. So it's going to look like this, 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 and then this and this. So doesn't it look so cute? It is really, really cute. I like it more than I thought I was going to like it. I kind of, uh-oh. This is wrong. This one goes to my other one. Oh, no, that's right. That's right. Sorry, it's just getting confused. This is my Minky Kim one. So this is the Kimberbell one. This is the Minky Kim one, which is so cute too. Colors are just going to be a little more muted. So, wait a minute. No, this is Kimberbell. I'm like, I keep thinking I have an imposter. This. It's going to look more like this. So it's super cute too. I just love it. So I'm excited. I'm going to take this to the store so I can pick my fabric for the inner borders and all the sashing. But I want you to have that all put together. And I like I said, I did the video. I'm going to send it to the people in our group first, and then I'll post the video for everyone on December 1st. So anyways, where are we at? Oh, the iron. Iron. Loving the bugs. When you say loving the bug, oh, like the ones that I just showed? They're really cute, aren't they? Okay, make sure you're on your mat. Make sure you have a pressing cloth down. Do not iron directly on that flock. You just don't know what it's going to do. I'm just going to give it one more press because that's the kind of person I am. I do too much sometimes. I've learned my lesson. Okay, that looks good. So you do want to press that down. I'm not going to wait because I don't want it to bubble up. Let's slide it back on. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch the tree decorative outline. Yeah, that's going to be it. And then we're going to be done with this one. Tree decorative outline. Welcome, awkward quilter. I need it to go. There's like this little, like 1/8 of an inch. I don't know why it's so hard to get it on. And what should we get ready next? We're going to be done with these two. Let's look at our listy list. So we just did Tundra, Rose, Pine Tree, Winter Home. So let's just go in order. So Winter Home, if it's 6x8, I'm going to go in my 7x12 hoop. We could do like a 4x4. Let's just do winter home. That's next. So I'm going to get hooped up. Let me grab my hoopy hoop. Look at the big old mess I made over here. That was actually clean. Well, semi-clean this morning. Ta-da. No, you're not. Get in the kitchen. Make me something to eat. I'm just kidding, guys. You should see the look on Patrick's face. He's looking at me like he's over there. He is. He just gave me a look like, okay, I'll do it right now.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. He didn't do that either. Okay.
I was. Later had you were emasculating. You're like, who's emasculating?
Oh no! Don't listen to him. Don't listen. Patrick, stop! Stop! Oh my God. I'm gonna
put the dogs in the crate and go for a ride, and then I'll come back.
No, just leave them. It's fine. Look at Momo's at the door saying, "Look, Mommy, let me in. I love you so much. It hurts my heart to be away from you." That's what he's saying right now. Okay.
Poppy, this way.
I just like to talk tough like that to Patrick.
This way. Come on.
And it's so funny because sometimes I'll say stuff like that and he'll just do it. I'm like, oh, it worked. Okay. Here is my 7x12 hoop. This is one of the loves of my embroidery life. Do you guys have a good enough angle? You don't need to see this whole mess, do you? All right, let's find something that fits. Oh, look, this one's perfect. We'll put this on. I have all these branded pieces, so this is nice. I can just use them all up. Remember, close magnets, small. Far magnets, big. So 2 small on the top and 2 big on the sides. Wasn't that funny, Patrick? He's so funny. Patrick is addicted to working out. He was like, he showed me his stats, which I'm sure like when I show him my embroidery, he's like, uh-huh, yawn, yawn. So, his cardio was like, he was like, what do you call it? Like anaerobic, or he was working out. It was like 4 hours and 58 minutes. And I was just like, that would kill me. That would literally put me in the grave. And he loves it. If you get it and it doesn't go on and there's a bubble, just like take it off again. There we go. Okay, we are hooped and ready to go. We are gonna do, which one are we doing? Winter Home. 7x12. Winter Home. Let me find. Whoop, that's not it. I have stuff everywhere. Here, I'll let you focus on this while I go in search of. Oh, here we go. Winter Home. What page is that? Winter Home is on page 22. So let me get my fabric. Patrick cracks me up. Winter Home. Here's my folder with Winter Home. Looks like the blue chevron background. And, oh, there's lots of little pieces with this. Hopefully I didn't lose anything. That's what I got cut so far. What have we done? Oh, look at missing Icador. So I did keep this. Hopefully this piece will work. I missed it somehow. Did I lose it? Oh, no, it's here. I obviously don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I think we are ready. I don't know what this is. I'm just going to leave it out. May or may not go to this. Here we go. I'm going to slide this off. Done. So cute. We'll trim those later. Let's slide on my 7x12. That's all hooped up. And let's load our design. Change to a larger frame. Okay, what happened was this fit all the way to the right. If the design is still up and you put on a small hoop, then it's going to ask you to change to a larger hoop. I'm just going to slide this off. There we go. That's all. Don't worry. Nothing's wrong. We didn't break it. I'm going to go home. Home's going to clear your screen. And then let's load our design. We are loading, where's my handy dandy spreadsheet? And all of this information is also in your book. Winter home, we want tree 4, 6x8 horizontal. So let's go in here. Isn't this so nice not having to wait for me to get my design like last time? Because I forgot. Tree 4, 6x8. So the one with the trees, and we want a 6x8. And looks like probably this one. Yeah, 6.5 by 8.5. That's how big your design's going to be because it adds a little bit. We're going to add to it, and we are adding winter home. Designed it. That's where I go for design database transfer. This is where you go for a USB. This is where you go if it's on the machine. What's this one? I forget. Is that like Pattern Connect? What is that one? I don't know. Okay. There's the home. There it is. Set it. And winter home centered. Did I do that right? Because sometimes it wants it down on the bottom. Yeah. Centered. Centered. Just know I make mistakes sometimes. I do. Don't trust me. I think centered is down. Yeah, we're not going to move it. So that's how it's supposed to look, just like that. I'm going to choose my hoop size. So I'm going to go to my settings, and we are going back to our 7.5 or 7x12. This one right here. Choose it so you know how much space you have. And so it's long and skinny, and we're going to go embroidery. It will combine your two designs. I'm going to slide my hoop on now because if your hoop is on, it cannot go outside of the embroidery field. Look at that. If this is up, it still can go outside of the embroidery field. That doesn't count as on. That counts as on. We're going to say okay. And I'm going to go layout, move. I'm going to scoot it all the way up. What does that do for us? It saves this fabric down here, which isn't a lot, but I could probably put that in my 5x7 hoop or my 4x4. And my DNA does not allow me to not save. All right. It's not my fault, guys. It's just like, it's how I was born. I'm just as I was made. I was born. This is just who I am. Okay. What do I have in there? I have Marlin. I'm just going to leave it in there for the background, for the batting stitch. But I will change it for the tack down because we're on a darker blue and you're not going to see it. We always want something that's going to give us a little bit of a contrast. So these are the two pieces that I'm going to spray. Everything else has heat and bond lined on it. We're going to use our little iron to put down. So I want the nubby side. There you go. And this is our background. My kids are going to be home next. Oh, I'm actually going to see Violet this week. I'm super excited. I just love having, well, I love having a boy and a girl. I love having a boy and a girl for different reasons, right? Okay, so we're going to lay that down. Uh-oh. Is Patrick still here? Oh, he is. Good. We're going to lay this down. This is directional. So make sure that you don't lay it down crooked. You're going to notice. There we go. And let's go and skip some steps. cutting your batting to size allows you to skip steps. I'm going to say okay here. And I don't make it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, I didn't ever push it. This is the button you want to push down here, where you can go forward and backwards stitches. This is the tack down for your batting. Don't need it. We cut it to size. This is your placement for background. Don't need it. That's your tack down. I have blue. Same blue as this. We want to change it because you're going to fussy cut to it. And I don't know about you, but my eyes start to go crazy. I can't see anymore. I will put in, how about I'll put in this Pale Mist. Stitch me up. Da, da, da. You know what I put in my playlist? So I always joke with Graydon that at the store I like to make space out of nothing at all, which reminds me of that Air Supply song, which was making love out of nothing at all. And then I was telling her that, and I was like, do you know who Air Supply is? And she was like, no. I was like, oh, we've got to play Air Supply for you. So then Air Supply has been coming out on my feed because I used to love the Air Supply Greatest Hits album. Because I would think about the boy that I was in love with that didn't love me back, and I would listen to Air Supply and just be sad. And it made me think of Solid Gold and the Solid Gold Dancers, and I love that show so much. Okay, now we're going to do our decorative stitching. It's going to be the trees and the houses. Let me go ahead and put that in. And now I think of the Air Supply songs, and I think about Patrick and how romantic he and I are. Where's my... Right, Patrick? Two hearts beating as one? Isn't that you and me?
Yes. My heart's about to be beating really fast for like an hour or an hour and 20.
Patrick, don't be gone long.
Okay.
My heart is a drum, and it's looking for a rhythm like you. Here we go. Hi, Miss Joyce. Miss Joyce, your fabric's going to be in this week. I'm so excited. So many people have been waiting. All right, let's stitch it up. Stitch it up. This is going to do the quilting stitch. So cute. 4 minutes of stitching. 4 minutes is like a long time. I could go over there and start slapping together some pieces for my back. But this is the type of thread I like to baby. We are doing awesome. It's 2 o'clock. We've been sewing for 2 hours. I think this is our 4th block today. I mean, that's pretty awesome, don't you think? Where's our spreadsheet? Let me grab it. Okay. So, right now we're on Winter Home. We've got to do Floral Heart, Snowbird, Polar Friends, and Ice. Of course, those are the ones that are all going to take a long time, probably. I'm going to knock them out, though. I'm going to do them all. Okay, I know that that thread looks cute, but you don't even know. Like, whatever you're seeing on your screen, what I'm seeing on my screen is like 1/10 of how cute it is in person. Hi, Miss Betty. GTG. Gotta go. You need brother in your life. I really think they make the best sewing and embroidery machines. You guys know me. I can only sell the best. Not that other machines aren't great. There are other great machines out there, but the Brother machines are the best. My God, it's so beautiful. We'll see you next time, Awkward Quilter. I think next week, what should we do next week? Next week, I think I'm going to just have a week off. Maybe 2 weeks after that, we're going to do prep for Sweetheart Street. Geez, we're getting close to doing mistletoe prep too. I'm on an Avenir. I'm on an Avenir. Okay, it did take me a little while to totally bond with my Avenir. There were a little bit of quirks, but I think most of the quirks are worked out. There's a couple of things that I'm waiting for it to be perfect, but I think Avenir is ready and it's near perfect. Okay, 10% cuteness on your screen, 100% cuteness in person. Mistletoe is the next mystery quilt. No new Avenir. Avenir will probably, usually when they come out with their top of the line, it's usually top of the line for like 6 to 8 years. I think like Elissimo was out for a really long time. So was Destiny and Dream Machine. I think those were out for, I mean, Luminaire, was Luminaire 6 years? I don't know how long. Luminaire was like the boyfriend. Like, I got to tell you, Luminaire was one of the loves of my life. Okay, I'm putting away this thread. Don't forget, 10% cuteness on your screen, 100% in real life. Like, even if you think this looks amazing here, when you see it in real life, you're going to be like, oh my God, that is even more. It's 90% cuter in person. Okay, get your linen thread. We're going to do the house placement line. And I did order smaller spools, but I think I'm going to need more. Right? I only have like 15. I got to open the door. I can't leave my babies out. Because I know it hurts them to be separated. Okay, placement stitch. This is placement stitch for your house. Hi, Momo. Let's slide it off. We're going to go ahead and iron on the... let me move that out of the way. We don't need that right now. The White House. What is... I feel like... Wouldn't it be nice if there wasn't like quilting where the stuff is going to go? It would just save us some time, right? Be nice if it was just like part of the design. And then they didn't charge for it. I know. I wish I made the rules, but I don't. Okay, this is cream, and sometimes the bottom of my iron gets some ick on it. So I'm going to put this down to protect it, just in case. There's nothing worse than ick from the bottom of your iron on your white. One more time. Okay. White House down. If you did not cut it beforehand, just go ahead and do your tack down and your trim. Is that on? Yes, it's on. Tack down and trim. Ooh, that's crazy. That slid on like all the way. Okay, I'm going to skip this step, which is the tack down and trim. I'm going to do the placement for the little roofy roof. It wants you to do this in linen as well. I didn't even pay attention. They're going to have a big, yes! Oh my God, Cindy, that is good news. Well, I'm waiting for the projector to stay on when you're sewing. That's like, that was one of the, that's, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Land shark. Okay, Poppy. This is why I sew on an ottoman. She's like, oh my goodness. Oh, try this on a couple different ways because I know, oh yes, I know you're full of kisses. I just feel violated. Poppy, you need to get down. Go. She's standing in between me and my ironing. I know if you're not a dog, some people aren't dog people. I'm sure you watch this and you're like, ick. But if you're a dog person, I do have the cutest dogs in the world. I just love them. Oh, can you not get out? Here, Mommy, move that for you. There. Can you go now? Oh, you're stuck? You're stuck? Okay. How about now? All right, that is ironed on. Let's go ahead and slide that back on. What's next? Let me get my book. Everything's been thrown around. Hi, Momo. Something else you want to add, Chiz, is the pressing. Yes! I've been using my pressing bar like crazy. I have two different ones. Oh, Joyce, I do have the, if you want the one with the clapper on the bottom, I have that too. I have it at the store. I think we put one up front for you. So, we just did this. Stitch the roof, tack down, trim the fabric close. If you're not doing scan and cut again, just do the tack down and trim it right now. So, I am on to this step, the door placement. And that's, again, in linen. So, I'm just going to go ahead, make sure you skip that step if you're not going to do it. So I'm going to skip it. Usually it's blue and orange or turquoise and orange. Orange is the tack down. We got to do that step. What is that? What is that one? What color do I need? That one is, oh, I didn't do this yet. This is the roof placement line. Go ahead and do that. Here is our fabric right here. Oh, congratulations to your mom. I watch this, you know, I always talk about with Patrick. I'm like, when I retire, I'm going to do this. And when I retire, I'm going to do this. So I watched this video, and it was somebody who had adopted a senior Bernese. I'm like, and it was just so cute. Somebody had given up their dog. Who knows why? Not going to judge. And then they were just explaining why they had adopted the dog, and they said that because the dog deserved his last hugs and his last meals, and it was a hospice dog, like a dog that wasn't doing well. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And Patrick said, then we're going to get divorced. He says no more dogs. Okay, roof is on. If you need to, do your tack down and do your trim. Not a big deal. Tack down and trim. focus. Oh my God, my hoop is sliding on like butter now. What happened? Okay, I'm going to skip the tack down. Don't forget to skip it. If you do it and it outlines it, not a big deal. Now it wants to do the door. This is going to be the door. Was I supposed to change color? No. This is the door placement. I did find my door, right? Whoops, sorry. Where's my door? Uh-oh. I know oh, there it is. I'm going to see if I can remember. Guess what, guys? I'm going to slide my mat under. You guys are like, this is not going to end well. I'm doing it. I have that mat because I did get it, so I didn't have to take my hoop off, and I can just put this down here and then press it on. I will remember. I'm going to tell myself right now. Pull out the mat. Pull out the mat. Pull out the mat. Because I did like I think I did 3 things, and then I didn't remember to pull out the mat any of the times. But if you do remember to pull out the mat, it's kind of nice because you don't have to slide it out. Guess what? Pulling out the mat. Look. Here it is. Pulling out the mat. That's Poppy's head. And let me go ahead and slide this back on. Poppy. I can't reach. Okay. I remembered. Please don't get into the habit. Okay. Okay. Now what? We're going to skip the next step. Okay. Imagine Poppy's head wasn't here. Poppy, come here. That's the tack down. And now we're going to go into the embroidery. Here, Pops, you can lay down. You come here? Lay down. Come here. All right. Embroidery. We are on step number 9. So you want to put in azure. I know. You guys you can't even believe I remembered. You're like, no way. She doesn't remember. She goes unconscious. Every time it's time to pull the mat out, she goes unconscious and then just starts stitching. I go into a trance. It's like I'm hypnotized. Just hit start. All right. I'm going to put in azure. Now look at me. I remembered, so I'm like getting all cocky, thinking I'll remember again. Maybe I was just so tired that day. There's got to be a reason why I couldn't remember. Step 9, stitch the leaves and stem fill. Here we go. Susan, I keep thinking I should have gotten a smaller dog. Decide which one to get there. Oh, yeah, the heavy breathing. Yeah, that was Poppy. Sometimes it's me. I need that, Cindy. Because I rather just leave the hoop on. I need that. I need to like throw a whole bunch of stuff on top of my mat that reminds me to pull out the wool mat. What is the name of the blue sparkle thread? It's called Hollow Shimmer. We did put it on the website. I only have 15 spools coming. They were sold out. I got everything I could. So I will order more though. I obviously didn't press that down enough right there, but that's okay. Hollow Shimmer. Hello, shimmer. Okay, so we're going to stitch this. Your next color is going to be aquamarine. So get your aquamarine thread ready. And you're going to do a whole bunch of aquamarine. Looks like we're going to do roof satin outline, window detail satin outline, heart detail, and flower flourishes fill. Oh, wait. Scratch that. We got to go back up here. So right now we're just doing the leaves and stem. We still have to do this. Satin house outline, door, and glass fill. And that's all going to be in linen. Okay. So he goes in line. And he goes first. Hey, Miss Diane. YouTube for part 2. Oh, so are you saying that you've only done, have you only done, section 1 and now you have to do section 2? So if you go to our page, there should be a playlist too, and I've put everything in the playlist. I don't have it all numbered though. I need to do that. I love Shih Tzus. I keep thinking I want to get a, what are they? They're kind of like a Shih Tzu. I think they might be a little bit bigger. But I'm going to definitely get a little dog. But Patrick keeps telling me, if I get another dog, then we're getting divorced. We should have done some cutting, huh? I should be prepping some of that fabric. All right. I was over there cutting some more fabric for my quilt back. We're going to put in linen. I'm going to be doing a bunch of the linen stitching. Hello, this one, I mean, if you look, I think we only put a couple of them on the website. There's several of them. And if anyone does still want to get a big cone of it, I can still get you a big cone because I'm going to be ordering, got to get more spray. I'm going to be ordering spray soon so I can get you a big cone. But it's, I want to say it's called light teal. Oh my God, did you just get a needle through your finger, Joyce? Did that just happen? You need this. No more needles through your fingers. Order a set of spatulas, and I love it because it comes with, I want to say it comes with 4 different spatulas. Okay, I'm just gonna let this go while this is stitching. I am going to do some cutting of fabric. Are we ever gonna finish Hello Sun? Betty! Yes, Betty. We are gonna finish Hello Sunshine when? I'm not sure. Maybe this summer. I was trying to like throw a block in here or there. We don't have that much left to do we? Oh, mint green. It's mint green. Yes, we do ship this spray. Go ahead and just let this stitch. Finish Hello Sunshine. Wow, you're done, Cindy? Good for you. I guess this is a day of finishing for you, huh? I'm gonna sit down. I'm just setting up. I'm getting some of my pieces ready. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start sewing all of those together with my clapper. And I'll just kind of pick pieces. Let me turn this on. I just lined some pieces up, so I'm going to sew these together, sew to this, and then sew to this. Just figure out what fits. So I'll do that, and I'll turn on something good to watch. Okay, what's next? I know I got to do my binding too. Just go ahead and hit start again. It's going to do linen for the top of the door, and then the window glass fill. So a little bit more of that to go. I know, what do we have left to do with Hello Sunshine? I think the prairie blocks. There's like prairie blocks. the jars. Go ahead and hit start again. I think last time we stitched, we did watermelon halves. Look at how the instructions used to be. This was it. Not much. I mean, these are 3 big, complicated embroideries, and that's all we had. I think, what are we on? Mason jars? Flower blocks? Is that it? Okay. So I'm going to finish up this house embroidery, and then I'm going to do one more, and then we'll call it a day for our sew along today. Go ahead and put in your aquamarine now. Now it's time. You're so close to being done, Miss Cindy. So we'll do this winter home, and then let's do floral heart. And depending on how long floral heart is, we might even do snowbird. And that'll just leave you a couple of them to finish up. I know we should do our binding strips right now, right? Looking cute. The November digital dealer. Is there more flowers after this month? No more flowers after this month. Next month is going to be, and I did show it off during our sew along, but yeah, there's no more flowers. We're just going to be doing the borders. And I put it all together, Susan, and I'll send out a video. And I'll send out a video with the picture. But you should have enough to put together some of the rows. Don't sew them all together because we're going to be doing some borders. But you're going to be sewing your rows together like this. So 4 flowers, and then that, and then 6 of these, and then same thing. 4 flowers, and then the flowered bordered, the skinny bordered, and then the last row, which will have 4 flowers, and then the skinny green border. You don't want to sew any more than that together because we're going to be putting together and stitching out the little green and pink plaid. There's going to be, I think, 4 horizontal borders, and then a skinny border that goes around the whole thing, and then an outer border that goes around that. I will send you, it's on this phone, so I can't do it right now, but after we get off of this, I'll send it out to everybody that's in our group. And then if you're not in our digital dealer group, I will have that, I'll post it for everybody, the video for everybody, December 1st. Yeah, you're gonna have homework. I didn't put the supply list together yet because I had to measure out the other rows, and I want to give you a measurement for your fabric, for the fabric that you're going to need to do the borders. Because I'm going to lay it all down in one piece. But I'll send you some homework. Just go ahead and hit start again. We're just doing a whole bunch of aquamarine. This block's a 38-minute stitch out, and we're 25 minutes in. And it's adorbs. Oh, come visit us sometime, Diane. We have a lot of people that stop in. It's a good part of the country. Reno's a great town. It is a little bit like Reno 911, but not really. And then we're close to Tahoe. Okay, after we do the window detail, then we're going to do the heart detail. So right now we're doing the window detail, and then we're going to do the heart, and then what's after that? And then we're going to do the flower flourishes, So there's the window, the heart, the flowers right there and there, and then the door. Oh, that's a lot of stitching. So there's going to be a lot of stitching on the door. And then we're going to put in pale mist. And that's going to do all the light green. And then what? And then that's it. So just a bunch of stitching. Hang on just a sec. I was going to press out my blocks. Okay, so just go ahead and hit start. Now it's going to do the heart. And I think there's one more thing, right? It's like the flowers. Okay, go ahead and hit start one more time, and then it's going to stitch 2 more times. So now it's going to do the flower detail and then the door panels. Okay, and while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and trim out these 2 blocks because we might as well, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take my tape off. Some of it I'll put back on the front of my table. Because why not? And normally I would just keep stitching and adding another one, but I'm just going to pop this out. Because you lose all of this. And you would lose that on the bottom, but it's okay. I like to turn it to the back side and then cut from here. Again, I'm just going to come over here and just hit start. It's going to do the paneling of the door. Oop, my dogs are outside barking. I got to go bring them in. I'm going to cut away, but it's going to be around that outline stitch, but I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch away. And then I'm going to cut these 2 apart so I can press them properly. I'm going to cut right down the middle of these 2. Sometimes you need just a little bit, like that extra bit of muslin matters. And if you're new to me, when I do the Kimberbell quilts and a lot of this stuff, I just use muslin as my base. I'm going to spray this with some water. You want to press it flat before you trim it. Look at your fabric. If it's directional, then you want to be mindful of that. And use a wool mat because it'll press the stitches down into the wool mat. And you just want this to be as flat as possible, and then you're going to trim. Flat and dry. Okay, that one's ready to trim. Let's do this one next. Okay, that one looks amazing too. Don't forget about this one. And this would be enough for like a, like the 4x4. I'll flip this over. Non-directional. I am a huge pop ruler girl. However, if I have to nest them, then I'm not crazy about using them. So what that means is, like these are 4x8s. And so I'm gonna grab my rotating mat. Give me just a second. So what I don't like is I don't like nesting them and then having to connect the lines and do all of that. If the pop ruler fits, like the 4x4, this is a zippy bag. There's new zippy bags that are coming out for December. So, be a great present. And they fit the pop rulers perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to frame this to fit. I like to look from the top. Use a rotating mat. Lean it into the side, hold it down, and rotate the whole thing. Don't let go. What's that? Nugget. Sometimes there might be just something in the corner that didn't totally cut. I find when my blade is super sharp, I get the cut all the way through. Oop. Okay, so when the pop ruler fits, and it's just like a 4x4, 4.5x4.5, I use it. However, I don't like nesting these. And that's usually what the directions say. So in that case, I'll just use a ruler that I have in my stash that's going to fit. Like this is a 4.5 inch by 12.5 inch. And this works perfectly. It needs to be trimmed 4.5 to 8.5. So I'm going to be able to cut three sides. And then I'm going to have to move my ruler. Rotate the whole thing. And then one more cut. To me, it's easier to do it this way. Easier, more accurate. Okay? My 4.5 by 8.5. So I've got this one, so cute. And let's do this one. How's it looking over here? Looks okay. I haven't even looked at the messages. Is there a lot of scan and cut? I have only used my machine one time in 5 years. So you're like me, Diane. I had a 650. I never used it. I don't think I used it one time. And then I bought a 225. I used it one time. I cut out the blocks for French roses. Is that what that design was? I cut out my petals for that. Okay, I'm going to cut this one. And then Marlene sent me a note asking about somebody, I think, did I miss something? Miss Kim Forer had said something about cutting on her scan and cut. And I sent a note to Miss Forer and I was like, okay, is it really that easy? And she was like, yeah. And then I did watch, I think, a video with Becky from Power Tools with Threads, where she was using heat and bond light and a low tack mat and an auto blade. And I was like, I'm going to try it. And I had success. And I was like, okay, I'm going to use it. So everything that I'm doing, you don't have to use your scan and cut. But some of my first videos were really bad. I've like grown a lot with my scan and cut and learned a lot. Like even just doing a test cut. Like that's made a huge difference. Sorry, I'm going to plug in. But maybe watch some of the videos and like cut with us. Because having a little success will give you some confidence. And I am absolutely in love with using my cutter at this point. Okay, so that was the door panel fill. Looks amazing. Now we're going to put in Pale Mist. Road trip to Reno. Yeah, let's do it. Why wouldn't you? People in Reno try to keep it a secret because we don't want everyone to know how great it is, but Reno's pretty great. Reno was not pretty great when we first moved here. It was great, but Reno's gotten really great. Okay, we're going to do the door satin outline. Just go ahead and hit start. Then we're going to do the flower fill and the doorknob fill, and then we're done. So we hit start. That time, we're going to hit it 2 more times. Have you ever completed all the blocks and can't remember where you put them? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like all the time. Like, yes. Yesterday, I actually had to clean yesterday to try and find my blocks. See this puckering? Don't worry about it. We're going to press that out. That's what the wool mat is for. And some moisture. You're going to put it face down and you'll just press the heck. This is one of those blocks that's dimensional. So you want to press in the directions of the chevrons up and down. Don't press this way. You're going to have like zigzags. It's the worst, right? But yesterday it led to me cleaning some of my, you can't tell. My sewing room's still a mess, but I cleaned so I could find my blocks. Hop in with Miss Karen. Oh, there's thread. Oh, you know what? It's not. I just left it there. I think that, are you talking about this? It's dog hair. I saw that too. I was like, I should get that. I was like, it's just a dog hair. I'll just leave it. A little bit of Momo. My God, it looks so cute. Should we hoop up? What's happening next? Are we going to be in the same hoop? Floral Hearts is in the 5x7, so I can hoop up for that while this is going on. Messy, messy. If I can find an appropriate piece, okay. That was probably for my 6x10. Too big. right size. Oh, here we go. I got a perfect piece right here. Hi, you want to come up? Okay, there you go. Okay, do we need to push that one more time? What was that? That was the door outline. The flower fill. Just go ahead and hit start again. So I'm going to just hoop up in my 5x7. Hi, Pops. Not for you. That's my snacky snack. Ow, no. Yes, Momo loves to hear the sound of his voice. Okay, I'm hooped up, ready to go for the next one. I think we're going to do the floral heart, which is going to be right here. Let's come back over here. We are, let's see, it is doing, what is that? Let me look at my book. That's the flower fill. And then we're going to stitch the doorknob fill. Okay, go ahead and hit, sorry, it's dropping. Go ahead and hit start, and it's going to do the doorknob fill. All right, that's it. The last stitch, I think it says not to do. So I think it says do not stitch this step. The doorknob fill was the last one that we did, and we're going to be ready to do our next one. I decided I had this even smaller scrap. So I was like, I'm going to use that one first. So I was just re-hooping. See, like you can get away with like really small pieces with the magnetic hoop. And you know, you do want everything to be, you want it to be like better coverage, like when it's really important, but this is just having a base. It really is about just having a base. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this off. I'm not going to slide this on because it's going to tell me to change to a bigger hoop, but let's go ahead and load our design. I haven't been looking at comments. Done knitting. I know. Dog hair, it's just part of life here at the Mulligan household. I'm going to go home. It was worse with my husky. That was like, talk about dog hair. I feel like Australians have a lot of hair, but it's totally manageable compared to a husky. So I'm going to go in here. We are looking for, we're doing the heart. We're doing the heart. Because we are just going to get through this. Part of me is like, let's just do them all right now. Can you stomach it? What page? I lost my spreadsheet. There it is. Page 25. Oh, again. Remember the other one I said was page 25, but it wasn't? I was like, just kidding. So we're going to do geometric 13. You want to have them be fat and long. Like this, not like this. Okay, geometric So see how I have these two, not this one where they're tall and skinny. You want them fat and wide. Set it. Let's choose our hoop size. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to choose my 5x7. Just keep stitching, guys. Just keep stitching. I'm going to add, and now we're going to do the heart floral. Heart floral, heart floral. Set. And then we just have to do the polar bear and the skates. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go to the next screen. Let's go embroidery, layout. I'm going to scoot it up. Oh, did you see? Just keeps going. Do you know why? No hoop on the machine. So if your hoop's not on, it will just continue to go out beyond the embroidery field. These slide on really easily. Oh, and now it's telling me to change to a larger embroidery field. Why? The design fits into a 5x7. Why would it tell you to change to a larger embroidery field? Because we're outside of our embroidery field. We're outside of that 5x7. So sometimes people ask that. They're like, my design's only it's only 4x4. Why is it telling me to change to a bigger hoop? You might be outside of your embroidery field. Okay. Now let's slide it on. Now let's scoot our design up. And it won't go outside of the embroidery field. Okay? Little lessons. Okay. I'm also going to go to the screen in which I can go forward and backward stitches. Let me grab my, where's my folder? Here it is. Here's my pouch. Last design. Last thing in here. I'm going to take it out. Hearts cut out and everything. All right. I'll just leave what I have in there. I have, what is that? The mint color. I'm spacing. Pale mist. Okay. Let's go ahead and spray my pieces. This has heat and bond light, so I don't have to spray that, but we're going to do these two. That's nubbier. Oop. Let's put this piece down first. So just fit it. It's cut to size. That's part of your spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet, I put all of the cuts. Hopefully it was right. It might not be. But what page is it on? Like right here, here are all your batting pieces that you need to cut. So I've been including that because that helps me. I tally them and then I put them on there. That way you can just go ahead and cut them and then you can sort them and add them to the pouches as you go. So we're also going to put our background fabric down, non-directional, so just kind of frame it. Feel, once it feels good. And then I'm just going to go ahead and don't hit start. If you cut to size, we're going to skip steps. So we're going to skip this step. That is the tack down for the batting. We don't need it because we cut it to size. Placement stitch for the background. We already laid ours down. Tack down for the background. You need that. I left my pale mist in. It's going to go ahead and tack this down. And then we're going to do our quilting stitch. Okay. Poppy doesn't really bark much. She's a little bit. Her cutest bark is her Battle the vacuum bark. That one's really cute. And then she's got a really cute bark when she's not being fierce, when she wants something for Momo. Hang on, I will go and shut the door so you don't have to listen to that. So I'm going to thread this up. And if it doesn't make it, just go ahead and try it again. Did it go that time? Looks like it. Okay. Oh, I unthreaded it. Silly me. Okay, grab the loop from the back. It's kind of curly, so I couldn't tell what was what. Okay, there we go. Let's do our quilting stitch. Go ahead and look at your screen. Make sure that's what it's showing you. Mine is showing me the quilting background stitch, so I know I'm doing the right thing. This is a 17-minute stitch out. And we're at 3 hours. So we've been stitching for 3 hours. I think we've done a great job. 3 hours, we've gone through quite a bit. And like I said, after we do this, we've got snowbirds, polar friends, and ice skates. Not too much left. Okay, we're going to go to our embroidery. It wants you to stitch the placement line in linen. So let's go ahead and put in our linen thread. I'm going to take out my big old spool of hollow shimmer. What was it called, Cheryl? Did you say it was light mint? Something like that. Here's my... Okay, here's the placement line for the heart. I'm doing it. I'm getting crazy. Here we go, sliding it under. But I'm also putting this on top. That's my reminder that I have to take out my mat. I'll be like, why do I have that stuff up there? Take off your mat. Okay, here we go. Whoop. My arm was under the cord. I wouldn't do this mat is for the dime snap hoops and it's thin. I wouldn't do this with the fatter mats because it's going to push your hoop up too far and you don't want it to do that. Good enough. Oh, look, I have all this stuff on here. Why? Oh, it's my reminder. Maybe I can do that. Okay, let's slide that back on. And now we're going to skip the next step because the next step is the tack down. If you need to do the tack down, no biggie. Do your tack down and trim. I'm going to skip it and I'm going to the next step. The next step is, what's the next step? Linen. You're going to stitch, so we just did the placement. Then you're going to do the tack down and trim. Or you're going to lay your fabric down. Stitch the leaves and stem fill. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit start, and we're doing that in linen. Then we're going to grab azure. Azure is going to be the next color. depending on your machine, I have a progress bar. So I can see here, there's a big chunk of stitching and a big chunk of stitching and a big chunk of stitching. So I'm going to run to the ladies' room and I'll be right back. And then I'm going to go sit over there and do a little piecing. But I'll be here in the room. I'm just going to go. Well, for right now, I'm not going to be. But I'll be right back. Look at this bag of goodness. And this isn't even all of it. But these are all my, it's not all of them, but these are most of my freestanding lace pieces for the Haunted Bridge, for the gingerbread. Did that turn? No, I was like worried that it bled, but it didn't. I just have to press them now. Give them a little pressy poo. And then I'm going to put them together. I'll film it. In case you've never put one of these together, I'll film it so you'll see how we do it. Bag of love. Okay, what are we going to put on there next? Now it's calling for small dots. Small dots, it wants those in linen too. So go ahead and just leave the linen in. Stitch out your small dots. After your small dots, you're going to put in marlin. So grab your blue. And you're going to stitch the heart accent line. What's the heart accent line? Oh, wait. No, sorry. We just did small dots. We're going to do large dots. Azure. This color. Almost led you astray there. I was like, wow, we're done. How did that happen? Okay, azure. Light blue. Hi, Miss LaDonna. What's the largest Brother Magnetic hoop for the 10 needle? So it's going to be the 8x14. But it might be called the 7 7/8 by 14. I don't know. They might have a 14 by 14, but just understand that you'll never have a 14 by 14 embroidery field. That's you'd have to do like stitch half of it. You'd have to use your software to split the design, stitch half of it, and then you pull your hoop off, flip it around, and put it back on, and then you would do the other half. Hopefully that makes sense. Like it would be like, let's say this is my hoop. It would stitch this half, you would pull it off, turn it around, put it back in, and then it would stitch this half, and it's pretty seamless. It matches everything so beautifully. Michelle has some really large designs she's done on her multi-needle, and just split the design and use the big hoop for it. Hey, Miss Broad. Better late than never. Good to see you. Are you working on Enchanted? Okay, now it says, let's read the instructions. So, stitch the large dot detail if you plan to attach the button. Yeah, of course we're going to attach the button if you have them. Maybe you're making 2 of these. If you're not, okay, if you plan to attach the button to the block, skip machine steps 6 and 7. So I'm going to use the button. So I'm skipping 6 and 7. I'm going to go right to step 8. And we're going to stitch the heart satin outline. So not only do I have to say I'm going to skip those steps, but I need to actually skip them on my machine. Oh, don't be scared. I've done it by accident. The multi-needle hoops, you can put them on, like some of the hoops, you can put them on, you know, like if this is my hoop, I could slide it on this way, or I could slide it on this way. Every once in a while, I used to slide it on this way, take it out, do my applique, and then slide it on the wrong way. Don't be scared. Nothing to be scared of. Okay, now I skipped in my mind those steps, but I also have to skip them here. So we're going to skip this step, and we're going to skip that step, and we're starting with this. And this is step number 8. And that's if you're going to use the buttons. If you're not going to use the buttons, you're going to do those steps. Don't skip them. This is the heart satin outline. And then we're going to stitch the heart accent line. Patrick, I have a job for you. You need to trim all the little threads. Patrick? Don't look at me like that. Okay, I'm going to press this one out right now. Might as well. Remember, this one's directional. So the chevrons, they go up and down. We're going to iron that way first. Don't worry about that. We'll get that later. Once it's pretty set and pretty dry, then I'm going to go to town on this pucker right here. And we're good. You just want it to lay pretty flat. We're going to go ahead and fussy cut to that. Looks pretty gorgeous. This is a perfect block for your pop rulers. Pop ruler. That's the one. I want you to look straight from above, not from the side, from above. And you want it to be as close to perfect as it can be, but it's never going to be perfect. There we go. Hold the whole thing and rotate. Don't let go. Try not to cut the stitches on the bottom of the house. You need those because it's a wide satin stitch. There we go. And this piece will definitely work for something. Beautimous, right? So gorgeous. Okay, where are we at over here? I think we just have to put our marlin in. We're going to do that finishing stitch. Yes. So right here it says, stitch the heart accent line, and that's going to be marlin. B stands for marlin. Hi, Miss Cindy. Somebody else, was it Betty saying that it's cold in Tennessee? What's going on? We should have that cold weather. Here we go. I think it's probably going to stitch right down the center. Yeah. A little balled up here, but I'll fix that. Okay, and don't forget you're going to have buttons. Buttons are going to go on this. So if you're like, that doesn't look finished, it's not. Cold front. Ah, for the whole East Coast and the Midwest. Wow. You know, isn't it so funny to be, to go, oh, the weather must be gorgeous everywhere like it is here right now. All right, and this one is done. And guess what? I think I am going to end here today. So maybe later on I am going to send out some stuff for the, I'm going to send out some stuff for Wallflower. But regarding Enchanted, this is going to be the last sew along. I will film the rest of it. So I'll film the stitching of the rest of the blocks, which will just be the snowbird. I'll film this. Skates. This guy, right? We haven't done him. The polar bear, the skates, and the little bird. Everything else I think we've stitched. And then these are all set. So I'm going to put it all together. And I have to finish my back too. But I'll stitch the whole front together. And I'll film that. I'll film that as well as, I'm not going to film the back stitching together. It's just too much up and down and just wasted nonsense. So, but the rest of the embroidery, I'll film that in the next couple of days. And then we'll have a completed project. So thank you so much for joining me for Enchanted Winter. The rest of the videos will be recorded. And anyone have any questions? We were supposed to oh, got it, got it, got it. That's not even for me. You guys are just chatting. All right then. Well, thanks for joining me for this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this project. I'll post the rest and I will see you for the next sew along and we'll see you later. Bye guys.